Hi everybody, it's Cinnamon Cooney, your art Sherpa, and today it's a 3-color challenge. I'm going to show you how with just 3 colors you can paint this wave. On the mic today is my husband John.
Hi guys.
He's going to be taking your questions so I can answer them. If you're here on the replay, this was live, so we're going to be getting questions as we paint. We're doing this all live. Also, this is a very exciting day.
It is?
Yes, because it's another Paint Live All Day day. So immediately after me, Angela Anderson is going to show you how to paint a painting with 3 colors. And then immediately after her, Ginger Cook Live is going to show you how to paint a painting with 3 colors.
Ooh.
If you'd like to know where those channels are, I'll put them in the links below and stuck them in the iCard. So you can find them. And of course, the moderators during the live are going to make sure that you guys have links when you're ready for them. So I hope you guys are ready for a day where you find out how just 3 colors can make a lot of art and very different art.
Yes.
So I've got my very colorful kind of coastal wave. I got my Cali on today. I'm pretty excited about that. Got my coffee going. I am ready to share this with everybody. And let's talk about the materials.
We should talk about the materials. We got a full house here too today. Just so you know, I've been over here pushing
Am I
buttons.
going to be doing the Sherpa dance?
You're going to be doing the Sherpa dance. We looked over and we're already at 288. So we have a ton of people. Just crowding in the room. So
I have a 9x12 canvas board.
Yes.
This is pre-gessoed and ready to paint. Pretty much if you're buying any of these packages of canvases, unless they're specifically raw linen, they're all pre-gessoed and ready to paint. I have some wishes on here. We have from our community. Our community sends in wishes. We put those in our canvas and we paint over them and we send that positivity into the universe. Steph wishes for strength for her family. Donna wishes for healing for her mom. And Erin wishes for love for her daughter. And so love and healing to all those families right now. They're going through some stuff and we can send that positivity out there. Over here on my materials, I have some interesting stuff today. So I have 2 kinds of white. I have a soft-bodied white, right, a fluid white. By the way, craft paint is also that, so don't feel like... I love these, but you can get what your budget allows and still get a great effect. I've got some heavy-bodied white, and I have the colors from Holbein Acrylic paint, primary Cyan, primary Magenta, and primary Yellow. And then I also have some glazing liquid. I have my official Sherpa splatter brush. This is my Galaxy brush. This makes a small particle splatter. I'm going to talk to you guys about that today. And I officially have my cloud brush. And I'm going to talk to you about scumbling, and I'm going to give you some success techniques if you have different tools than me. Don't worry about it. I still have a way for you to make it work and be awesome, and information about all that stuff is in the description below, including alternate colors.
ooh.
Because I know a bunch of you are like, Cyan, what? So if you don't have those specific primaries, I gave you some other examples of sets that will mix as primaries and give you pretty much this result.
That's fantastic.
Because I'm like, yeah, I don't know where you are. I don't know what's going on.
And so
I'm going to put out my paint
while
you say hi to everybody.
I'm going to make you dance because we blew way past our 300 people. We're totally Sherpa. And, you know,
I love our Saturday.
It's a good day.
It's a happy painting day.
we like being here with you guys. So thank you guys for coming and
I love
hanging
the
out
bubble
with
song.
us. Get your bubble on.
What does dancing have to do with art? I get asked that question.
We do. Occasionally we do, but dancing has everything to do with art. And that's that if you're not here to celebrate life and painting and art and fun, then what are you doing, right? You know, everybody have to ask that question. So
We do teach serious art, but we don't teach it seriously.
no. So if you're with us at home, get up and dance. Remember to celebrate life and have fun. And if you can't get up and dance, then wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes because those parts remember to dance too.
I'm in a weird mood today. I got my coffee. It's what it is. I got my
good
coffee.
Day. It's a good day. It's a good dance day.
It's a good day. Aren't those pretty on the palette?
They do look pretty.
Those are gorgeous colors. They really do a lot. I'm going to put out a couple spots of white because I know I'm going to be working it a lot myself. And I'm going to add, this is my acrylic glazing liquid gloss. I find on ocean scenes, I really like to have some of this. This slows down the drying time of my paint. And it allows me to glaze, and so I like it very much. I'm going to sketch in my wave and my sky and my stuff on my canvas.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a small bright.
Oh, can you tell us about the wishes? Did we get the wishes covered?
Yep, we did the wishes.
Okay, we did the wishes. Okay.
So I'm going to sketch this in. Let me rinse this off and drag off the extra water. So this is a number 6 bright. You could do number 4. I'm just sketching in right now. And I'm going to get a little of my blue And maybe a little yellow, so it's just a little bit green. I want it to blend into what's coming in later, and I'm going to think about what's going on my canvas. So the first thing I'm going to need is a horizon line. So I'm going to come up from the lower third, and as level as I can make it, I'm going to sketch in my little skyline right here. You can get more blue if you want. On this painting, color is your friend. It's really about value. It looks like it's a color study, but it's actually a value study. And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to say, I've got a crashing wave, and this wave is coming up here. Let's come up. This is the halfway point. Let's come a little bit above it. Oh, you have picture-in-picture today.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. We like to have picture-in-picture. And I'm going to bring this little wave up, and I'm going to let its top wander a bit, because that's what they do, right? And this is going to be crashing down like a mountain coming down to right about here. And it goes crash, crash, crash. And then let's take it off on a little perspective where the water is coming like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening here is the wave is coming up and curling over. And a good way of thinking about that is, when you're trying to know what you have going on, is come along on a straight line and make a loop and crash it over. And sometimes that can help you when you're trying to think about your wave.
Yeah.
Here the water's going to come up, it gets heavy at its crest and starts to crash down. And this inside here is referred to as the pipe or the curl, right? So there's a tube in there.
Yeah.
If you're really good at surfing, that's an important thing to catch. I'm also going to say that I've got some frothy bits crashing around here, right, that are coming and crashing about, and that's going to let me peek my sun out. So this kind of just lets me know where things are. Sometimes it's good to have those sketches in a canvas so you know where they are.
Yeah.
I'm going to rinse that out because everything above this space is my fabulous, awesome, fantastic sky. And I'm going to grab this. This is a number 6 bright.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of my ArtSherpa brushes that's coming out later. Any synthetic brush with a good firm filament is what you're looking for, right? Because you're working with heavy-bodied acrylic paint and you want to be able to push it around with authority. Touch your brush, make sure it's not overly moist. A good synthetic brush won't soak up water. I'm going to come and I'm going to get a little of this fabulous yellow, like what I have here, and a little bit of white. There we go. What's that? Trash! I don't know. And I'm going to come here and start putting in my sky.
Oh.
I'm going to just brush in at the peak, this little V of this wave, this bright yellow. Oh, it's so pretty. Just want this color. And I can come over my little sketch. That's okay. It's okay. And I'm just doing sort of like this little curve back and forth. I'm going to be coming back with my cloud brushes, but I want to put in my basic ombre like you do, so that I can enjoy that. I'm going to get a little of my pink here. I haven't even rinsed off my brush, which is kind of exciting. Let's get a little glaze. Let's see if we can't blend this in. Look at us going. So wet into wet. Acrylic paint blends like an oil while it's still wet, and then when it's dry you have to use glazes and dry brushing.
Ah.
That's how you work it. So that's what's going on. I'm going to just keep adding my little ombre in my sky. And this, I'm actually putting quite a lot of energy into my sky. And the sky is going to end up being kind of on a curve like this when I start putting my clouds in. You can get a little bit of this and maybe a little yellow. I don't want to get any of my green on it. No green. Because that will start to gray out my orange, won't it? So I'm painting with really all the colors in my palette. I'm just mixing them all this time instead of buying them. You can do entire paintings with just primaries, if they're real primaries. But I know later today we're going to see a painting where you get to use some stuff that maybe don't make purple.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. But I'm basing mine on stuff that does make purple, because we all know I like purple.
Yes. You are a huge fan. And this
I'm
really
going
is...
to rinse out my brush. This is about a 2-hoot painting.
2-hoot?
2-hoot. 2-hoot. Because you got to do wet into wet and a little dry brushing and some splatters. Different techniques.
Yeah.
So I'll up the hoot if you're learning more techniques. So you've got to know like how to paint wet into wet, or you know how to dry brush, you know how to splatter or glaze. But the painting itself is not particularly more challenging in structure than a one hoot. So I'm curving
Gotcha.
my brush strokes. You can see I'm kind of almost putting a fisheye on this. This is part of my atmospheric perspective as I come here. And I'm going to let this pink permeate. I love the layers of this because it just so quickly, almost like a magic trick, becomes gorgeous. I'm going to pull this pink down.
Yep.
You know, I think there's a misunderstanding sometimes that you've got to have a lot of art materials to have fun at art. And I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it's fun to have a lot of art materials, but it's not what it takes for you to be good at it.
Right.
All you've got to do to be good at it is practice. So I've got that where I like it, where I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm going to come and add a little blue to my mix.
Now,
And magenta and blue make purple.
now, just to recap for everybody, because we got a whole bunch of people who just who just joined back up in here, and so could you recap here the colors that we're using?
I'm using Holbein's primary cyan, primary yellow, and primary magenta.
Okay.
In the description, I've included some other primary mixes that will give you a great result,
Yeah,
similar result.
Alan was just asking that. He was like, "Are there other primaries that we could use?"
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
Any of those other primaries would probably be just fine.
And I didn't give a complete list. I just gave you guys what I generally thought you might likely have
Right.
just sitting in your kit right now. You might be somewhere and you're like, have a different set of primaries. It's a really interesting search. It's an interesting thing to look up in color theory is primaries.
That is interesting.
So I'm pulling out my magenta and I'm grabbing my cyan and I mean, no, that's, yeah, this
what-
guy's cayenne.
What are you grabbing?
I don't know why I got in a cayenne pepper moment and I was like, what am I talking about? I'm not cooking, but this is painting. So that's the fun of this. Isn't this gorgeous how this just starts to come together?
It really is.
And we're just going to blend these values in. I'm creating, this is where I'm setting my sun and I'm putting in a sunset and up here the sky is going to get cooler and go blue. I do think that these are great paints and I think these are great colors to add to your art box. If it's not a financial strain and you can, I highly recommend it. I think they're useful. But if it is, don't worry about it. It's not the important part.
Yeah.
The important part is that you paint and you make a better wave than you knew you could make. So I'm just working this. I'm going to rinse out my brush. With a very bright primary painting like this,
Yeah.
I would highly suggest that you regularly change your water to keep your colors very luminous or it can gray out. Just a thing you might not know. I'm going to pull out a little of my cyan
I did
and
not
a
know.
little of my white. Did you not know that too?
I did not know.
Yeah. He's so sweet. He actually does know it.
Some of it, it's like so funny. She's like, you do know. It's like, no, I mean, like I've watched a lot of these paintings, but like I'm really busy back here, so I don't pick up as much as you might think.
If you weren't so camera shy, I would make you get in front of the camera and do a painting
Oh my gosh,
demo.
I don't. I mean, like the only thing I know which end of the brush goes on the canvas, but only because I've seen it about 300 or 400 episodes.
I'm just pulling this blue over here and I'm blending these areas in. I'm going to come back with these scumbles, and you can use any scumble that you have. And I'm going to add the drama of the clouds. But it's nice to get the value of a painting worked out. And then you just keep building up layers. You just keep building up the layers and keep enjoying it. There really isn't any negative to having fun with your art. None at all. I'm going to rinse it out. I like this because it's real easy for me to rinse these out. And I'm going to, let's make some top of the wave color. Let's talk a little bit about waves. And just whenever you're painting them, whether you're painting them abstractly or you're painting them very figuratively and realistically, some things to think about. Where the water is deep, it will be cool and dark, right? Because the light isn't going to get in there. One, it's going to reflect off this surface. So this surface is going to be a collection of deep shadows and the sky reflected as the ripples are catching things like mirrors. So try to think of that there. As you come up into this curl, into the pipe, this is going to be thinner in the wave than you think. and there's going to be some of this light reflecting in this curl. Coming up this wave is going to be a deep shadow, and it's going to be pulling all of this water up as this energy is pushing this forward. So if you think way down under here, there's a whole bunch happening, and there's a bunch of energy that's being pulled up, and it's about to curve over, right?
Yeah.
So this will be deep and dark. Up here at the top of any wave, it's going to be more transparent. Light's going to be coming through, and that's going to be one of your important things to represent. Also, some of this and some of this is going to be reflecting across this surface. And that's before we ever get to the really cool foamy bit at the top of the wave.
Yeah.
So hopefully that kind of breaks down what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
And I like to mix my brightest color a little bit first. So I'm going to take a little of my yellow out. I don't want any of my orange in it. I'm going to get a little of my blue, and I'm going to make this very, very bright ocean color. And it's just going to be a little bit green, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to add a lot of white. If it's too green, like this is too grass green, add a little blue to it to take it into the ocean top of the wave color. See, I'm just working that there.
Yeah.
So you're like, you want to think top of the wave, not new blade of grass. There we go. A little more turquoise. Pull in the white. That is the lightest color of your wave, and that's going to be here. And remember, this curve, this is happening here. So you're curving this over. You're curving all this up. And this is just that first value study. We're going to have more to say. We're going to be lighter, we're going to be darker, we're going to have more to say. We've got to say some white water stuff up here too. So we're just talking values.
I saw
blue.
Angela Anderson out there.
Hi,
and all
Angela.
of our crews out there having a great time painting along. So just wanted to, everyone's having a great time. They really enjoy this painting. They like the way that the wave looks so luminous.
And this is really about this value change here.
Yeah.
That you've got to lay in, you've got to block in now. So I'm keeping my brush strokes in mind. This is my first layer, and I know this is my first layer, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put a little more blue into my mix over here, and you're going to see it's going to go more into an aqua turquoise. And I'm going to start blending that up into that. There we go. And already it just starts to be a wave. It's really fun to paint these. These paint beautifully abstractly. You could sit there and just do 100 waves and never paint exactly the same thing twice. Just curving the stroke, curving it up. Look at that. And setting in some value.
Mm.
That act of setting in the value is what will eventually make my awesome, really cool wave. Now, I'm going to take, this is real interesting, I'm going to make my deepest green before I make and add a purple to it, which is kind of wild.
The deepest green.
So I'm going to take a little of my yellow over to my blue, making my deep, deep color.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to, I find it helps me to flip this over for this part.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to pull a horizontal stroke, because this is like going to be a distant horizon that we may or may not have show after we're all done with the foam. If it's showing, it's got to be there. And that's just better to paint it in and have it if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your mom used to say that. You'll have it if you need it.
Right.
So I'm going to put out a little more of my blue. I'll take it over by my yellow because I know I'm going to be working this over here. I might put out a couple more bits. I'll be putting this out quite a lot. This is just a bit of fun you can have with 3 colors. Secret though, sometimes for painters, like 2-color challenge. It's just a monochromatic painting.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun to say these things. Challenge.
Challenge.
Challenge accepted. Because it's a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So where I've got the foam and stuff coming up the curl, I'm going to want it to be very dark. And it's just easier to start putting in a dark value here. So horizontal. And again, we're just painting in the first layer. This is glazing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're just glazing it up. All right, here I'm going. And then I'm going to make sure my shadow is here in the corner. My darkest blue. I'll be coming back with some really interesting mixes with purple and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this starts blocking in my value set. And also helps create that luminous feeling in the painting. That's what I like glazing for. It's all good, it's all easy, it's all fun. Even if it's not easy today, it could be easy on Tuesday.
Could be.
If not today, soon.
Now,
That's something to remember in painting. If not today, soon. There we go. Just pulling that up. Let's see how our brush strokes are curving up the wave, because we want to make sure we have a nice curve going up our wave.
now, which brush are you using?
This is I think this is a 6. Oh, it's an 8.
Okay, you're using a number 8 bright.
A number 8 bright.
Okay.
You could use this number 8 bright, or you could use this number 8 bright. What they all have in common is they're a firm filament that's synthetic,
Mm-hmm.
right, with a nice edge.
Gotcha.
That's the part on your brush you don't negotiate on.
And if you're interested in any of the
Also, it shouldn't
brushes,
shed bristles all over your canvas.
yeah, we keep all the information, all the materials we use in the description below, so you can find out all that information right there.
Yeah, you can absolutely be like all about it.
So
all right,
you're
letting
just
that dry.
now. It looks like you're leaving strokey strokes
Well,
in
I
there.
am. I'm just blocking in, so I don't have to be that worried about it. You could be very smooth about it.
Because it's very streaky.
It's streaky.
Is that okay to be streaky?
It's okay.
I'm looking.
It's okay for it to
I've
be
closed
very
up on your
streaky.
streakiness.
It's all right. I'm going to grab some just blue, and I'm going to make sure that I'm having the shadow come here. And I get back into these two. Here we go. And just make sure that it's going to be a little more luminous in the curl.
In the curl.
In the curl should be. I'm going to get some just yellow and just, I'm going to be coming back and thinking about this more consistently, but I just want to make sure that I'm saying, hey, light happening here. Coming through from this dramatic, intense, beautiful sunset. So there we go. Look at that. Already looking like a wave. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Super fun to do this. Now, I'm going to do one little bit of purple here, but I'm not actually going to take it up because I still got to put in the clouds.
Yeah.
So I've got some purple already over here, but if we remember, it's a little bit of our blue and a little bit of our magenta. Blue and magenta make a better purple than just about anything. And I'm just going to use this as the deep and cool color of my water. I may come back with some blue, but I'm just saying right here, along the water's edge, is this foam.
There we go.
I could have used a yellow as a base if I felt like it. I could have used just a blue. Really, any base will work. I just chose purple because I liked it. All right, when I'm coming along here in the bottom, I'm going to use a little more blue because you really have to shade foam. That's something people don't think about, but like clouds, sea foam needs shading.
Would you mind if I did one thing?
No.
Never mind. You fixed it. I was gonna next time you give you're ready to have a sippy. I'm gonna dolly RoboCam to the left.
I'm about to have one. I'm feeling parched. How's everyone doing? Is everyone taking a deep breath and going, it's just a wave?
They're actually really enjoying this.
Little abstract painting we can do any time of the day or night.
There's a lot of people are curious about the different color sets, so that's good. They've got some links here. We'll and if you guys have any other interesting color sets that you do, post that in the
if you have
comments.
Other primaries, feel free.
Yeah.
Like you can share it in the comments after the show and also during the live. If you have a set of red, yellow, and blue that you really love how they jam together, you feel like, I'm like totally phthalo, crimson, hansa.
Now,
That's totally okay. Definitely share that.
Can you shift?
You want a dolly?
I am. I was just wondering, can you shift primaries to tertiaries and still do that? So if you rotate the 3 to the left a quarter on the color wheel instead of doing like the primaries, then use those tertiaries and do that kind of same.
Painting won't explode.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm like asking color theory questions. Like,
Yes. But really all that is you looking at the color wheel and looking at color relationships and saying, can I change these values, these hues, and still get the same thing? So really what you're talking about on any wave, you can paint it in any colors that you like. It just needs to be light at the top, dark at the bottom, have a backlit tube, some foam here, and a gray sky. Paint it with whatever you like. It always works. That's why it's so much fun to do.
That's why
Waves
painting is
always work. If you kind of follow those little formulas, you're like, oh, I'm going to paint this in all kinds of crazy combinations.
Yeah.
But you just want to make sure. And it's a fun thing to do, to play with those colors.
Wrong buttons. There we go. That's
Wrong
right
buttons what? Wrong button says what?
Wrong button. Wrong button says you see a wave, or you see blackness, or you see the Sherpa.
All right, so I'm going to get a number 8 cloud.
Yep.
I'm so excited. It makes me so happy. And I'm going to take just my pink here. I'm going to pull out a little of my white. I'm going to get a very bright color because it makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start working in my dramatic sky. And I'm going to, this brush is very dry. I'm planting the round process of the brush in here, and I'm just very lightly scumbling, which is just dry brushing and kind of scratching and moving over the surface, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what I know is the underneath of my clouds, guys, will be lighter and the tops will be in shadow because the sun is underneath them. Very dramatically. So I'm putting in my kind of like light pink value, and I'll probably be darkening it in a little bit. I'm going to just enjoy putting in my sky. Any scumble brush will do this, and what I mean by that is, so say you have a, I don't want a Grand Prix because it's all bristles. I want to, where's that? Where's that, John?
I don't know.
Oh, here it is. Here's one.
What are you looking for, Sherpa?
So I'm going to get a small one of these. This is
Okay.
a number 6 Cambridge. So this is a bristle brush, but it's a bristle brush with a synthetic mix in there, so it won't over soften.
Right.
So say that's what you have as your scumble brush, which you could have that as your scumble brush. I can still come here and get the paint on here and just very lightly, see, scumble on the corner of my brush.
Gotcha.
Right. The secret behind all the Q-tip videos I keep doing is the message. I feel like my meta message is the tool is not the tool. The most important part of the painting is you.
Is you.
Is you. And you
So-
can paint with Q-tips if you have to. Don't get stressed about it. That's the message.
And-
It's like,
and-
why are you doing Q-tips? That's why.
And if you'd like more information about our Sherpa brushes, it's in the description below.
Yeah, if you think this is really cool, because I do.
Yes, we dig.
So basically, I like this because I'm going to be putting my lightest value right under my cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it allows me to get the scratchy little happy scumble that I'm always looking for super easy.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't over soften, it doesn't mess with me, and I like it for that. I do. I'm going to get a little more pink, and I'm going to keep just coming here with these little values and just telling a story like you might, coming up, and you can just see it just works for me. And I love that. I love how the heel of this is just always connected where I want it to be. And you can just see it's just so easy. It makes me. By the way, we get to use these in the foam too.
Oh, wow.
They do other things besides clouds.
So you're just scumbling along.
I'm just scumbling along, and what I'm trying to do, see how the scumble is slightly transparent because the magenta is slightly transparent. It's not highly pigmented, so it's almost like a glaze. And I'm just telling the lightest story of my cloud first.
Now, that's a real word,
I'm grabbing
scumble, right?
Yes, I say scrumble, and I guess that's an alternate saying, but then fine artists get very unhappy and they feel like they have to comment on the channel. And I don't want them to have to worry about that. They should be painting.
We do know the difference. We
They
just
should be working on their shading.
should do a better job of articulating it. We'll do a better. We do know what the difference is. We should just do a better job articulating it.
It's just, it's the 6 of one, half a dozen of another. In truth, but people have an emotional reaction to things.
I do.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. BMW man.
Not you. We all go through
So
different
I'm
phases.
just, you can kind of see, I'm just telling the story of these distant clouds, you know, that are happening. And I'm just right now happily telling the story of these pink clouds. Like you can. Get some more pink here. I really enjoy it. It's super fun for me. How are we doing on time?
Oh, it is daytime, and
No, I mean, like, what
we have
time of day?
lots of it.
Okay,
And
before Angela's on?
oh, when is Angela on?
She's on at 2.
Oh, well, then you've got about 23 minutes.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, so, you know.
Uh-oh. Did we start late? Am I
Um,
just going slow today?
I don't know. I think we may have started a couple minutes late today.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm using just the pure pigment here. Just using the pure pigment here.
Angela's hanging out in here with us.
Just enjoying that. You can see as it glazes over the blue, it kind of goes purple and tells a nice story. You can come
wow.
get some white.
Wait, that's amazing. Anne just pointed out that we have over 435 people here and number 325 likes, 326
Woo!
likes. Man, thank you guys.
Take a win for art today.
Now, Sue is asking,
Hi, Sue.
does you tricked me. I thought you were going for more paint. You just shifted your
I
hand
don't need
position.
to. This
No,
thing will put out paint for a really long time. I only get it if I want to add opacity.
Now, if you don't have that tool, could you use a bristles or a sponge tip? Maybe a sponge.
Just a little earlier, sponge.
Yeah.
I would still use a brush you can scumble with for this effect.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of techniques for getting clouds in. You could use a Deerfoot stippler. You could use any scumbling brush you want.
Mm.
And like I said, just even a bright with a mix of bristles and synthetics.
Cool. And
we gave a demo right here of that
yeah.
earlier in the video.
Yeah, there's lots of questions that are just coming in over this. So
I've just got this here. I'm adding a little highlight, see, to the bottom of my darker clouds.
yeah.
And another thing you can do if you want to darken your clouds where you put the highlight in already, you can come back in with a darker pink and tell more of that dark story. There's just no end to the joy that you can have in the sky. Just none.
Oh, so they're actually questioning on that tool you're using. Is the tip of it made of bristles or foam?
Oh, this is made of Sherpa white filament. That's actually the name of it. It is in stiff synthetic filament, and then these are
If you hold it still for 2 seconds, I will
hand-shaped,
zoom in on it if I
so you can see the bristles. These are hand-shaped to this specific shape.
There you go.
What's a really wonderful thing is when you get to talk with the brush maker and you say, if the brush would just do this, that would so help me.
Wrong button. So zoom back out. So that's what it is. They're bristles. They're little synthetic bristles.
Yeah. It's the Sherpa white, which is unique to our brush line.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Which is kind of cool. Think that's kind of neat.
I do too. I start tripped out by it, but I'm just like, I like my tool.
Yeah,
But you can do this with,
Yeah.
other stuff. Always know that. It's never the tool. That's the whole point of the Q-tips. Never the tool. So I've just got that in. I'm going to rinse this out. And I think I'd like to work a little of my yellow and my red here together and make a very bright color with some white. And then come in and just sort of make sure I'm telling this story as well, coming back and forth. Just scumbling this. Make sure you don't have too much moisture in your brush for good scumble. Whatever you're using, be using a drier brush. And we're just working this out here so that there's value. I don't know, can you guys see the value?
Yes.
All right, so we're just putting that in. And get some just yellow if I can. There we go. Just working that in. Making sure that that is good. And then get some just white. And just putting that in there. So we're just really feeling that sky, aren't we? That sky's almost done. Might come up here with a little bit of this. This is going to be a lot of foam, so I don't have to worry about that too much. I just want to make sure that my sunset feels sunsetty.
Yeah.
And the only area I can still address is this up here. And I'm going to come get a little of my blue and my glaze.
So
And I'm just going to make sure that I'm glazing this up here in some little way.
Oh, hold on. I lost you on the camera. There you go. Okay.
Did I wander away? It's nice
I
to
was
do
reading
this.
a
I'm
comment,
just-
is what it was. I was reading a comment, and then you moved, and then I didn't
Oh,
see
what's the
you.
comment?
Oh, it was, Lady White Fang was just asking if,
Hi, Lady White Fang.
is there a difference between scumbling and scrumbling, or is that just a...
No, that's just
okay.
the way of saying it.
Okay.
That's
so.
all it is. That's all it is. We did a bunch of looking into that. Because so much was questioned. So I've got sort of a purple cloud I'm kind of going to talk about a little loosely up in here. Just a little bit. Not too much. And I think let's make sure we add some over here though. Once we've just told a lovely little sunset story, and everybody's sunset can be totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can see I'm just pushing down and pulling up and going back and forth, pushing down and pulling up. Just enjoying my story. Let's get in this wave.
All right.
Woohoo! Rinsing
Now,
this out.
there's...
I'm going to sip my coffee.
While you're doing that, I'm going to say thank you to everybody who's showing up, because we have a huge group of people here. I'm wondering if I have, while we're doing this, I'm going to see if I can...
I'm going to miss my paint.
Add you a little music
Spinning.
just so you've got that there. But I want to say thanks to everybody, because there's a lot of... We've got almost 500 people out here with us today, and it's been really nice... just being able to say hello to everyone and have a little... Do I have one of these that works? Oh, look at that. I do. Ha! And what I needed to say, that I keep forgetting to say, is don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all of those social things that we do. And
Be social.
And be social. And please, share your images up. We love to see what you guys do. I want to see your paintings. Post them up on Facebook. Post them up on our website, on www.TheArtSherpa.com. There's information on TheArtSherpa.com about this and all the other paintings that we do. And there's information on where you can get our brushes too, which should be at your local retailer.
I misted my shirt, and it really took a little too much in. Yeah, it's feeling like that. Oh, I'm kind of loving that dramatic sky.
It's looking good.
All right, I'm going to get my number 8 right here back out again.
Oh, let me go back over here.
And I'm going to get back into my mixes. I'm going to take a little of my blue over to my yellow.
Okay.
And I'm going to get some white here. Get some glaze if you need it. I'm going to come to the top of my wave and work this next bit of luminosity out. Just at the top here. Pulling this down. Just along here. We're going to actually come back and put a shadow in. But it's nice to have this starting. This sort of deep there. And I'm going to put a little of this right here. It's a little blue and a little yellow. Right? And we're going to make sure that we are kind of showing that little space.
Yeah.
A little bit. There we go, a little more blue. Let's come up. And we're just blending in. And I might even size down my brush here pretty soon. But what I'm trying to do is just make sure I've got a nice illuminated interior. I'm going to come here, making more of my ocean color. So this is really where I'm getting my turquoise. Turquoise is more to the blue and green is more to the yellow. And that's kind of what you're actually really dealing with. And if you want to see it's turquoise, you just add a little white. And I'm going to start adding this turquoise to the curl of my wave. When I'm coming up into lighter areas, I'm going to go on my edge and I want some of this water to be darker up and then have it be lighter, and then over here in the corner I want it to be its darkest coming up, because that's where the thickest foot of the wave would be, right? If you overlighten, you just come back with the yellow, a little bit of white, and just pull it down. See how easy it is to correct? Just pulling it down in. Now I'm going to do a really interesting thing. I'm going to make some purple, and then I'm even going to make some green, a little purple and green. It's going to make a very dark color. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to start adding my dark values. Coming up this corner. See this?
Hold on. I see it now.
Just a little bit of this is almost like this deep marine
Oh,
green.
wow. Yeah, it is.
This works especially well with these colors.
It's crazy. This is just 3
Working
colors.
from primaries is kind of like chefs cooking with eggs for artists. I'm going to get some just purple. I'm going to come here and I'm going to add this deep value. Coming up this side, but I'm not going to take it too far forward yet.
The upside down wave.
And I'll have to check the curl of my brushstroke when I flip it. I find that flipping it back and forth, upside down and right side up, helps me find its balance. So this is just this curve right here. I'm going to get a little more purple. Pull it here. And an interesting thing that you can do is you can get a little white and just pull a little of that in there for a reflection. Dry brushing it in.
So for those who are new to the Sherpadom,
New to the
hello
Sherpa.
all you new people. How are you guys doing today?
I'm going to grab some just blue. I'm going to come right here.
So they were asking, what does 1 hoot, 2 hoot, and 3 hoot mean?
So 1 hoot means we're using a very, very entry-level technique into the painting. There's not, 5 or 6 different techniques, like dry brushing is a technique or glazing is a technique. We're usually generally focusing on one thing. The designs are pretty simple and friendly. And, you can come in knowing very, very little. I'm going to do the line right here. This is going to be a little bit dark on the curl here because of the thickness, right? And then I can take some of this darkness up into the curl and under the wave, like you do. So here we go. I'm going to rinse this out a little bit because I don't want my colors, I want them to be a little bit muddy here, but not overly muddy.
Yep.
And I'm going to put out some more blue. So that's 1 hoot. Just, it's just basic stuff, basic paint on brush on canvas. 2 hoot, the designs are super simple and friendly, but you might dry brush and glaze, or you might, glaze and splatter. So it's just about not hitting you with too much stuff out of the blue.
Right.
I'm going to just keep working this here. Just
We have so many little
under
brushes
this little
with
wave
us.
here. Let's go under the wave. Whenever you're painting waves, put a little shadow under the foam.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can.
It's sort of, I have to look at the reference image to kind of understand what it's good that we have picture-in-picture because I'm looking at it right
Does
now.
it seem like I'm losing my mind?
No,
Oh.
I mean, I just don't have reference points for a lot of waves, so I was kind of like looking at what you're doing going, man,
So I'm
I
just
don't
going
understand.
to curve this up,
Yeah.
right? And in here it'll be thinner, so I'm going to curve this at an angle. And then just blend this out into my ocean base. It's okay that we have some dark value happening here. Get some purple. I'm actually, believe it or not, close to done.
Well, it's pretty amazing because we got over 450 and 400 likes. It's like uber Sherpadom. I'm just going to turn some music on in the background for you just to enjoy a little bit while
I
we're-
will. So something I want everyone to do, besides put the shadow under the little foam, right, which will really help it fill, is make sure that you put some deep reflections in your water. I'm using purple to do that. The way it glazes over the green, it does a really cool effect. But keep these brush strokes kind of level because water always seeks a level. So I'm just going back and forth. I can blend these out so they don't stand out. And then it's back and forth. And let's bring some of this up a wave. Let's go up our wave with some of it. Not all of it, just some of it. And we're going to do our curve. Curving. And you can get a little white on here. Add a little of that, that joy to the color. Look. We know that there's going to be reflections from the sky a couple places in the water. And we want to play with that.
Nice.
Play with that and let that be part of it. Just curving and respecting the curl.
You say that like you had some experience there.
Respect the curl. The curl will teach you respect. That's what that means. get crunched all the way up to the shore.
We had some people from all over islands. I see some folks from the Philippines and from Hawaii and
Respect the curl.
respect the curl.
Also respect the ocean, and the ocean won't have to deal with you.
It's true. As many
And
island
the
nations
ocean will win.
Yeah, island
There's
nations.
no
are-
old man versus the sea. There's the sea and then an old man having a moment. I'm just saying. Not that I don't love great authors. I'm just saying. So I'm going to just pull this up. And I feel like I've started the basis of some nice reflections here that we've got going, and some nice here. You can come and get some just blue. And just pull this. I've got a little white, little purple on my brush, and just blue, and I'm just bluing this up here. Isn't that nice? How that just feels like the ocean. I'm going to rinse this out. We're real close. And I'm going to make some more marine colors, which are some of my favorite colors to make because I love turquoise. And turquoise is always going to be more to the blue than the yellow when you're making green.
Now you really, I'm just looking at your original that you did, because this is the second time you've painted this.
Yes.
The first time you painted it, which is our picture-in-picture over there, and if you look at it, it's much more. It's not as vivid as the one you're doing right now.
Is that the photograph?
No.
I guess.
You just punched it up a bunch. This one.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, I don't think it's bad, but I mean it's noticeably more punched up, and sometimes that happens is that when you're
painting.
When you're painting, because it's just some folks were wondering how many times you painted this beforehand. How do you do your color studies?
One time, and generally it's like I'm just trying to. How I do my color studies is sort of interesting. Is I paint a color value study, and then I print it out black and white, and I look at it small and I look at it big, and then I like to flip it just to make sure there's nothing crazy in it I shouldn't have there. That's how I check my work.
That's how you do it.
Your work.
But this one's it's not. I like it. This one has the colors are more saturated, maybe.
Yeah,
More
I
vivity?
don't. I could not. You know what? May have been dirty water.
Maybe.
I'm sorry. It's just that kind of day. I'm gonna bring this over here so I can have some bright, bright color. Because obviously that's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of yellow over to the blue, right? And then we're gonna get some white in here, and see how that's very, very bright. And then we're going to come in here, and we're going to do some of this coming up our wave.
Do some of this.
Some of this bright, bright aqua. Soft, curved strokes, dry brush. Look at how the dry brush comes down.
Ooh.
Right? Let's pick up some more of this good color. We like this good color. More to the blue. And make sure that you've got some of this out in your water. You need to tell some of this story in your water. It's okay to tell some of this story coming out here. And now we're about to get the crazy reflections, like you do.
Like you do.
I just could do this all day. I have to tell you, it's a whole thing for me. And I haven't even gotten into sea foam, which is just another feeling that I have.
You just like to make the sea foam.
I do. I'm going to grab that brush that I had out earlier. This is a number 6 bright. I just need a smaller bright. And I'm going to take some of the colors, because what's happening is the waves are mirroring the colors in the sky, and this wave surface will mirror the colors in the sky, so I've got to get some of that color onto my water.
Ah.
So I'm going to take a little of my yellow and a little of my white, probably a little more of my yellow, and I'm going to just come along this corridor of water. I need more white because the yellow is too transparent. And I'm going to just add little dashes. The further away the reflection is, the smaller it is. And then as it comes closer, it's going to build up and be larger and more noticeable.
And this is just
So that's just some atmospheric perspective that you can do really easily as a new painter.
And this is just 3 colors, right?
This is just 3.
Now, are these magic colors? Because I mean, like, there's
No, they're not magic.
Because
Color can feel magic sometimes.
it's like.
I'm going to add a little of this right here just to create some luminosity. And I'm going to put some,
And this isn't
start
like.
to get it on my wave here, saying that there's some sky reflection happening here. I put some other combos that'll work, and I think you guys are going to notice that when you see Angela paint, And you see my mom paint too in these 3 colors. And anytime you really are seeing any artist paint with 3 colors, that it'll feel like magic, because it's amazing how many colors that something can make. There's a very famous portrait that was done with 3 colors, and you would swear it was done with everything.
Right.
It's so shocking. I like just look at it and I'm in such awe. So you can see I'm just creating this soft dusted reflection, right? Right here. This is why one likes to have a bristle brush.
A bristly brush.
A bristly brush, but bristles aren't friendly to acrylics, and so that's why I like the Cambridge, because it's at least acknowledges, you know, that it has to be synthetic. Now, my reflections mess with my curve, so that's what I'm doing here is I'm re-softening that back, because I cannot lose that curve, because I'll lose my wave if I do. I'm going to get this rinsed out, and I'm going to get some pink.
Pink.
Pink. Let's add some white to that pink. So it's very pink. Add some glaze to that pink. So I'm going to come along this water surface, and again, small. Don't go big.
Don't go big.
Don't go big.
That wave will get you.
It's going to get you. Adding some white to it. And just bits of this. Almost done. We just have the foam left after we get this reflection in.
I think we're okay.
Yeah. Why did I just like to let people know? Because I'm so tired. All right. And I'm going to just softly kiss the wave. Where would the light be hitting it? Right? Because really what you've got a clear tube that's getting lit. That's what's happening here. Your clear tube is getting hit.
The clear tube is being lit.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I love this. This is really fun. Makes me super happy. I'm just dusting this here. I could just paint these all day.
I can't
just
wait
have
to
a
see.
summer of wave.
I can't wait to see everybody else's waves.
Oh,
This is
you
gonna be
guys are
great.
going to do so good. So see, I'm just kissing the mirror of what the reflection, and the pink can go back here into the purple, right? You can even put a little here in the curl and then dust a bit there, just a bit, because you don't want to lose your, I'm going to take a little of this up over the curl because it pleases me. That's what's happened there, guys. Now I'm going to put in my foam.
Your foam?
My foam. And the first stage of my foam is I'm going to get my, you could use, I have a number 6 and a number 4, but I'm going to use my number 8. And I'm going to get some just white paint that I have here. I'm going to come to the top of my wave, and I'm going to just dust out this little bit of white water. Make sure your brush is really dry. This is a dry, dry, dry brush technique. And I'm just dabbing this down. You can see it just does this nice. Some of the foam should be thinner and then get thicker, because waves do that. That's what waves do. And then can start to curl here. Have a little curl moment. There it goes. It's going, it's starting to crash. Now, you can start to break the edge here.
What do you mean by break?
Where it's not a smooth line, because the water is starting to break away from gravity. You have to think about where would the water break away from gravity. And I'm going to let
Breaks away from gravity, it goes into
this,
orbit.
I'm going to be very scumbly on, right? Because, and I'm going to get real scumbly, because I want the blue to sort of show through, to be part of the shape and shadow of the... Now I want a dark little area here, so I'm going to just lightly scumble. That's what I'm always trying to think about, is it's going to be the lightest here at the edge, where the sky is, and be a little deeper where there's a lot of depth. So just think about those things, and you will always win at whatever it is that you're painting.
Well, it's looking really sharp.
Is it?
Yeah.
Just like
I like it.
rainbow waves for everybody.
And everybody else is loving this too. I mean, if there couldn't be a more Passamaquoddy pink sunset wave, I don't know, man. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but quinacridone magenta would work real nice with this. So I'm just quinacridone red too. Lots of good stuff. You could do quinacridone red. And
It's just such a pretty, pretty painting.
I'm going to, it could be just more up here, but I do want it to be, I'm just going to scumble, right? Just kind of scratch around the energetic little water of all of this. And then a little bit lower here maybe at the bottom. Look at that. So for a lot of people, they would be good here, right? Because they'll have painted in their whitewash and all of that. A little tip I want to give you, though. I'm going to get a smaller brush for this tip.
Ooh.
I'm going to get this. This is a #1 bright.
Yes.
And I'm going to get just my blue and even a little glaze, right? And I'm going to come underneath this, all along here. Very lightly where it's light, and then deeper where it gets darker.
Wow, that really makes that edge pop nicely.
Yeah. The thing about waves coming in or into the shore or being on water is that people forget that they have a shadow that they absolutely cast. And so you just want to make sure that that's shown. That way, no matter what you're painting, no matter how you're painting it, and you can see what I mean about like waves can just have almost any water. I want to work this inside a little bit.
Yeah, you can.
Because I'm seeing it on the screen and I'm not loving it yet. Always go till you love it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. Sometimes when you take a step back, you talk about that.
Yeah, and I'm just taking some yellow and white, and I'm just curving this around.
Oh, making it even lighter.
Yeah, and I'm going to get a little of my blue on here now and blend that back.
Oh,
A little
wow.
more blue, because I'm just not yet feeling this curl.
Oh, wow, that's coming together, though.
Isn't that nice? I want to feel it. Come back with some just pure blue, because I want to feel this. I feel it. I'm getting weird now. Getting weird.
No,
so I'm
no.
back out. But I just want to feel it a little bit more. And so sometimes I'll be looking at something and saying, hey, that's not really hitting for me. And I need a little more something. And you just kind of go, what do I need? And then
You just work it a little bit here and a little bit there.
you just think about these things because they matter. Just a little bit there. The glaze.
It
There
just
you go.
glints the sun.
Yeah.
That
So you just
sunset
want to
just-
say that it happened.
That you tell it that there was some stuff happening.
Right? And you can even run some of this reflection a little bit. Yeah. Because it would, right?
Wow, that's
All
turning out
right.
pretty cool.
Best part.
Ooh, that's right. I like
All right.
this.
So this is, wait, I showed here.
Oh, wait.
This is soft-bodied. This is called fluid, but basically what these are is these don't have the thickeners, the stuff that holds the body. Craft paint does that too. So I like to use these, but you can use what you can get and never, ever, ever apologize or feel weird about that. It's just art supplies. Now, this is not a toothbrush, and this is full of the Sherpa white filament. I'm going to show you why this is different. This, like a gremlin, which should not be fed after midnight, should not be left to soak in water for any reason, because these bristles go right into the wood here. And then it's got the coating, and it's true, it's got a bunch of enamel and everything on it, but it's not a hot tub brush. So I'm just dabbing this up and down. You can use now you can use a toothbrush, and you've seen me use it in the past. I'm going to come here, and what you're going to see real fast is that I can
Hold on.
with very little flick, this
Okay,
is the
there it
best
is.
thing in the universe.
All right,
I don't have to pull very hard to get the flick. I don't have to load very much to get the flick, and I can actually, without a mask, create a very directional flick. As I see fit.
Wow.
Sorry, I don't know why I went with the mad scientist thing, but it was just, I have to tell you, it was like killing me not to like paint 500 galaxies. But see how like with just, I can go light and I get the finest little flick where I want it, and then if I want it to go bigger, I just go bigger.
It's funny, we just can't because the way the angle of your hand doing it. So as you get to the bottom of the wave, then as you...
Is it, okay, maybe I can, I wonder how I can do it because I just want to show it's really interesting.
So pick the canvas up and rotate it 90 degrees to the left.
Like this?
Yep.
All right.
Perfect.
So if I want to do a little bit, I can do a little bit by just lightly pulling the brushes. And then if I want to do a lot, I can just go crazy. See?
Yeah.
And I have total control of where my splatter is going. And this is going to do the small particulate splatter. And I have to tell you that this has been one of my great journeys as an artist is you'd find a splattering tool and you would take care of it, but either it would get lost or damaged. And then you would spend years even finding another splattering tool. So I'm very happy to say, no, this splattering tool, always available. All right, so can we see how that is very directional?
Yep.
And I have control. I'm going to go back to my orientation.
Okay.
Just keep loading this on. I'm just having to dab. I'm not having to add water. I can even say, hey, be more here, because that's where you'd be. I can be like, no, you're here. Anywhere I want to put it, which I just love. Just love, 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 love.
Just fix some paint on there.
It's just super fun for me. And you should absolutely.
And it kind of makes an impasto kind of.
Yeah, it does. These are real raised, and that's somewhat the paint. I think if you were doing craft paint, it may self-level a little more. Oh, I like that little. Psh, psh.
Is that a technical term?
It is now. I'm going to add some spray this way. So the direction I pull, the splatters go the opposite direction. That's the other thing I wanted from this. I want it to always be very predictable where my splatter goes. I want this to look accidental. I just don't want to feel like I'm having an accident that I'm sort of in control of.
Right.
That's like my whole thing. But again, I've done this for years with different toothbrushes than I would find. So don't feel.
Yes. Just just use it dedicated brush.
Yeah, don't brush your teeth with it. You would never brush your teeth with this. This would rip the gums off your teeth. Sherpa white filament is not for the weak of heart.
Yeah.
So you can see I'm just working that and enjoying that. And this was super fun. Guess what time it is? Okay, so I'm going to show you the rinsing out.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go clean this with rubbing alcohol. You just are going to do this.
And then wash it off.
Yeah. I have murdered one, and it's still okay. It works good. It's just not as pretty. So, that's
wow.
right.
Are we all done?
We're done. We're signing.
Wow.
Let's sign.
Okay. That just turned out really fast.
Isn't that wonderful?
That's really nice.
Just real happy. Oh, can I use some more light reflections here?
If you'd like to put some more light reflections on there.
Every time I look at it, I'm like, wait, it doesn't have the light reflections. It needs a little more yellow.
All right.
It needs a little more light reflection. I'm sorry.
Then
we're done.
Well, could you explain what impasto means? Because I use that word.
Impasto means that the paint is very thick, and you can see the body of the paint and the brush stroke behind it.
Gotcha.
All right, I'm going to just make sure I just add this just a little bit lighter. I just need some brighter reflections through here. Sometimes when I'm looking at the thing, I'm like, I've got to really look at it and be like, what is it? I'm grabbing some more white. Just dusting that. Just making sure. It's a thing you got to do sometimes. You got to do it sometimes.
Just add a little bit more. A little more light.
A little more light. Yeah, because it would have it.
Now, coming up next, right?
Is Angela Anderson.
So we're going to be, and
everybody's got to go from here right to there and pour in.
What we're going to do is when we finish up with our stream here, Angela will be doing her broadcast, and you guys can go over there and catch up on that next stream.
And after that is Ginger Cook
And
Live.
after that is Ginger Cook Live.
So I'm going to sign this. I'm going to sign somewhere interesting, I think.
Where are you going to sign?
Over here. On the curl up.
What?
I'm going to sign on the curl up. And I'm going to use
I don't even know what you're talking about.
a little blue on my brush and a little white on my brush. And I'm going to sign on the curve up so that my signature is like sea foam going up the wave.
Oh, you tricked me.
I know. This is a number 0 round. It's in the woohoo! I'm actually pretty pleased with this now. I feel like this is a pretty lovely wave.
Yeah.
Pretty happy with the curl. Hope you're happy with your curl. Cowbunga dude.
Yeah.
I did it. Go enjoy Angela's, and I want to see you guys at the Easel really soon.
Well, we're gonna have to give them just a second because they're just gonna keep going here. So I'm gonna.
Are they not live yet?
They're just getting ready to fire up. They were just.
Well,
waiting
we can
you to
talk for a
finish up.
second. We can Q&A.
Just for a few seconds. Well, I think they're gonna be ready here just any moment now. I think you just got me before I could push all my buttons and get everything ready.
How do we feel?
This looks really great. I
How
did want to say to everyone, thank you for coming. We've had a huge crowd of people here, Cinnamon. You just wouldn't believe how many people here with so much so much love. Like almost 500 people here the whole entire time, over 450 like right now, just hanging out.
Are we arting?
Being cool.
I cannot wait to see
painting
these
this
on
stuff.
Instagram
So
and Twitter
thank
and
you guys.
Facebook and our website.
And it's just been amazing.
And if you want to see more waves, let me know. I can do more ocean. I can paint more ocean. And we can even do more 3 colors if you guys are like, I kind of dig that palette.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go. I think that they're all getting ready to go. So what we're gonna say,
we're
guys?
good.
Yeah, I think we're ready to go. So they're hitting their buttons. We're gonna sign off here, guys. We love you. Go check out Angela Anderson. You can see the link in the description below. If you're time travelers, it'll be in the iCard, right?
It'll be in the iCard and up forever on YouTube. So you miss nothing. It's like you were here. Be good to yourself. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And I will see you at the Easel really soon. Bye-bye.
Just a moment to say goodbye. And now we say goodbye. Bye-bye.